and welcome to Sri Lanka Morning Show. Ayubowan.
ඔබෙත් මගෙත් අම්මා මුළු විශ්වයේම එකම අම්මායි. මව්වරුන්ගේ ගීතය.
Jet Travel and Cruise, Explore the World. Exclusive Gala Dinner Ball, Saturday 10th June 2023, 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Springvale Town Hall, Springvale. Eastern and Western Smorgasbord by Desmond Fulston, Silverline Caterers. International Entertainment by Misty and guest artists Randika and Estrid Jackson. For more information, contact Romain 0423 737074.
Ayubowan. My name is Dr. Sam Dasanayake. I am an Ayurvedic doctor practicing in Melbourne. Today we will provide very useful information with regards to diabetes mellitus and your kidney health. Kidney is a very important organ in the body. Kidney does the filtration. Filtration is of utmost importance. Kidneys needs to be protected, because if you lose the kidneys, then you will go into a lot of pain, a lot of distress, and it could even be fatal if you cannot find a donor. So it is of utmost importance that you protect your kidneys. Now, firstly, you have to keep diabetes, if you are a diabetic patient type 2, under control, which means that your sugar levels should be between 5.5 to 6.5 fasting when you check in the morning. So I would urge you to keep checking every day in the morning once you get up, before any breakfast. Now, providing that if your kidneys are, now kidneys can be affected even though you are taking other medication, because you have to understand they all need to be filtered through the nephrons in the kidneys. So if the filtration, filtration fails, then it's going to be nephritis. So kidneys will strain. Once the kidneys are straining, you will know, because you will have a mild lower back pain coming from time to time. Now if it is a spinal issue, it will be constant pain associated with your bending, associated with your lifting. But if it is a kidney dysfunction and you are having pain, then it will be time to time, disregarding your lifting weights or bending. And you will find that pain is relieving if you drink a lot of water. Now, 2.5 liters is the accepted amount of water that you need to drink in a day. Please pay respect to that and keep yourself saturated and hydrated. Have 2.5 liters of water every day. Regardless if it is a rainy day, hot day, cold day, please keep drinking warm water. That is my advice to you. Now, equally, if you are not having any phlegm related issues, you can have coconut water and any other types of water, but not sodas. Sodas will also strain and drain the kidneys. Now, kidneys, if not functioning well, you will find a mild lower back pain, and also you will find that your nails becoming a little bit discoloration. You need to get your kidneys checked straight away. The other most important thing is that when you try to pass urine, you will have a mild pain when you strain. So you know, yes, it is the kidneys, and the steady stream of urination will be interrupted. So it will have a dribbling effect. So you have to strain each time. So that is also, the kidneys are interrupted and there is some kind of blockage. Now, kidney blockages are mainly some form of calcification that will prevent the proper filtration of the nephrons. So that is why it is called nephritis. So, but if you are drinking enough water, coconut water, watermelon juice, you will find a lot of help. Besides that, polpala is very good. Polpala you boil and drink the once it's warm enough, strain and drink it. That's very good. Purpala is traditionally home remedy for kidney filtration and kidney health. And stay away from pickles, pineapple juice, anything acidic, because that will add to the problem. So this is something that is very important. Again, kidney health is very important. Now you will also find a mild headache if the kidneys are not functioning well. If it is the case, please see your doctor, or first try the home remedies. If you get relief, that's great, and if not, you can see the GP and get a test done to see if your kidney is in good health. If not, you can see your closest Ayurvedic doctor and get some Ayurvedic medicine to help you with your kidneys. I hope this information is useful to you. Additionally, if you need more information or if you have any questions, please contact Sri Lanka Morning Show or Sahanro Ayurvedic Center, and we'll be happy to help you. Until we meet again, Aibowan.
Abacus Solar, latest and reliable solar systems, world best panels and inverters, price beat guarantee, supervised system installation, excellent after sales service. Call 1300 852 843.
Rosewood Downs Excellence in Aged Care, a modern purpose-built home available in single and double rooms with ensuite and telephone in every room. Contact Ruben and Christine on 9701 3234.
Sanji Caldera Associates. With our headquarters based in Melbourne, Australia, you can locate our branch offices in Sri Lanka, Dubai, Canada and London, UK. Some of our services include skilled migration visa, family migration visa, employer sponsorship visa, temporary resident visa, business visa, tourist visa, student visa, administrative appeals tribunal review. Pursuit of excellence through tailored solutions.
The science of life, traditionally known as the Ayurveda. Consultations, diagnosis and treatments are done by fully qualified Ayurvedic practitioner Dr. Sam Dasanay. Sahanro Ayurvedic Center, best wellness experience.
New Year Festival Live telecast on Sri Lanka Morning Show. Gold sponsored by Sanji Caldera Associates. Silver sponsor Crystal Clear Flooring. Bronze sponsor Rosewood Downs. Associate sponsors Edson Plastic, Southern Star Motors, Abacus Solar, Jet Travel and Cruise, Australian Workforce, Varna Legal.
News Weekly is brought to you by Esden, the hose specialist. Esden Plastics Private Limited, 525 to 527 Hammond Road, Dandenong South.
අයිබෝවන් සතියේ ප්‍රධාන ප්‍රවෘත්ති ප්‍රකාශ සමගින් මම තුෂාර ප්‍රනාන්දු. මුලින්ම අවධානය ප්‍රධාන ප්‍රවෘත්ති සිරස්තල වෙතට. ගෞතම බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේගේ උත්පත්තිය බුද්ධත්වය සහ පරිනිර්වාණය යන තෙමගුල සිහි කෙරෙන උතුම් වෙසක් පුර 15ක පොහොය දිනය සමරයි. ශ්‍රී ලංකාව තුළ පැතිර යන නව ඩෙංගු ප්‍රභේදයක් සමග ඉදිරියේදී තවදුරටත් ඩෙංගු රෝගීන් වාර්තා වීම ඉහළ යා හැකි බවට අනාවරණයක්. පොදු රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලීය නායක හමුවේදී ජනපති රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහගෙන් ඉල්ලීමක්. බදු සහනය ඉවත් කළත් තිරිඟු පිටිමිල වැඩි නොවන බව රජය කියයි. ගෞතම බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේගේ තෙමගුල සිහි කෙරෙන උතුම් වෙසක් පුර 15ක පොහෝ දිනය පසුගියදා සමරනු ලැබුවා. බුදුන් වහන්සේ සුමේද තාපස ආත්ම භාවයේදී දීපංකර බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේගේ නියත විරණ ලැබුවේද වෙසක් පොහොය දිනයක වන අතර උන්වහන්සේ බුද්ධත්වයෙන් 8 වන වසරේදී මණියක්කිත නාරජුගේ ඇරයුමෙන් කැලණියට වැඩම කළේද වෙසක් පොහොය දිනේ වීම තවත් විශේෂත්වයක්. මෙවර වෙසක් පොහොය නිමිත්තෙන් ලොව පුරා සිටින බෞද්ධ ජනතාව මූලික කරගනිමින් ලොව පුරා උවැසියෝ වෙසක් පොහොය මුල් කරගනිමින් දාන සීල භාවනා කටයුතු වල යෙදුණා. ශ්‍රී ලංකාව පුරා පිහිටි වෙහෙර විහාරස්ථාන මුල් කරගනිමින් පෙහෙවස් සමාදන් කිරීමේ කටයුතු මෙන්ම දන්සල්ද දහස් ගණනක් සංවිධානය කර තිබුණා. මහනුවර දළදා මාලිගාව අනුරාධපුර ජයශ්‍රී මා බෝධිය පොළොන්නරුව ගල් විහාරය කැලණිය ඇතුළු වෙහෙර විහාරස්ථාන මූලික කරගනිමින් පින්කම් රාශියක් සංවිධානය කර තිබුණා. බොහෝ විහාරස්ථාන උවැසියන්ගෙන් පිරී ගොස් තිබුණා. මහවැලි විශේෂ බල ප්‍රදේශය වලව කලාපයේ 2023 වප්මගුල් උත්සවය මහවැලි විශේෂ බල ප්‍රදේශයේ නේවාසික ව්‍යාපාර කළමනාකාර LMN ප්‍රියන්ත මහතාගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් සෙවන කළ කිරි ඉබ්බන් වැව කොට්ටාශයේදී උත්සවාකාරයෙන් සිදු කරනු ලැබුවා. බෞද්ධ ආගමික වතාවත් සහ දේව මෙහෙන් අනතුරුව මහා සංඝරත්නය සෙත්පිරිත් සජ්ජායනයක් සිදු කළා. ඉන් අනතුරුව නේවාසික ව්‍යාපාර කළමනාකරු ප්‍රියන්ත මහතා සහ නියෝජ්‍ය නේවාසික ව්‍යාපාර කළමනාකරුවන් මහවැලි නිලධාරීන් සහ ගොවීන් පිරිස සීසෑමේ කටයුතු වල නිරත වුණා. නේවාසික ව්‍යාපාර කළමනාකරු ප්‍රකාශ කළේ සම්ප්‍රදායික ක්‍රම ඉදිරි පරපුරට දායාද කිරීම සඳහා වප්මගුල් උත්සවය සංවිධානය කළ බවයි.
ඇත්තෙම ජලකන්නේ කොහොමත් ජලකන්නේ ජලය ටිකක් අඩුවක් තියෙනවා. නමුත් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා අපේ ගොවි මහත්තුරුන්ගේ ජලය ගොවි මහත්තුරු ජලය පාවිච්චි කරලා මෙම ජලකන්නේ සාර්ථක කරගනි කියලා. ඇත්තෙම මේ වෙනකොටත් ගොවි මහත්තුරු සුළුවම තමන්ගේ කටයුතු මේ කියන ගොවිතැන් කටයුතු ඉටුකමෙන් පවතිනවා. ඒ නිසා මට හිතන්න පුළුවන් මෙම කන්නේත් ඉතාම සාර්ථක වෙයි කියලා ගොවි මහත්තුරුන්ගේ සහයෝගයෙන් මෙම කටයුතු කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාව තුළ පැතිර යන නව ඩෙංගු ප්‍රභේදයක් සමග ඉදිරියේදී තවදුරටත් ඩෙංගු රෝගීන් වාර්තා වීම ඉහළ යා හැකි බව ශ්‍රී ජයවර්ධනපුර විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ ආසාත්මිකතා ප්‍රතිශක්ති විද්‍යා සහ සෛල ජීව විද්‍යා ආයතනයේ අධ්‍යක්ෂ මහාචාර්ය වෛද්‍ය චන්දිම ජීවන්දර මහතා පවසනවා. මේ හේතුවෙන් ඩෙංගු මදුරුවන් බෝවන ස්ථාන පිළිබඳව ජනතාව අවධානයේ සිටිය යුතු බව වෛද්‍ය චන්දිම ජීවන්දර මහතා සඳහන් කරනවා. මේ අතර මේ දිනවල පැතිර යන උණ තත්ත්වය කොවිඩ් වෛරසයේ නව ප්‍රභේදයක් විය හැකි බව වෛද්‍ය සංගමය සඳහන් කළා. ශ්‍රී ලංකා වෛද්‍ය සංගමේ සභාපති විශේෂඥ වෛද්‍ය වින්‍යා ආර්යරත්න මහතා පවසා සිටියේ එම රෝගයේ ස්වභාවය අනුව එලෙස විවිධ ප්‍රභේද ඇතිවිය හැකි බවයි. ජනාධිපති අධ්‍යාපන ශිෂ්‍යත්ව ප්‍රදානය 2023 ජනාධිපති කාර්යාලයේදී ජනපති රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහතාගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් පැවැත්වුණා. අපොස සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ විභාගයට පළමු වරට පෙනී සිට එම විභාගය සමත් වී අපොස උසස් පෙළ හැදෑරීමට සුදුසුකම් ලැබූ ශිෂ්‍ය ශිෂ්‍යාවන් වෙනුවෙන් ජනාධිපතිවරයාගේ උපදෙස් පරිදි ජනාධිපති අරමුදල සහ අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යාංශය එක් වී මෙම ශිෂ්‍යත්ව වැඩසටහන ක්‍රියාවට නංවනු ලැබුවා. ඒ අනුව 2022 වසරේ අපොස සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ විභාගයේ ප්‍රතිඵල මත 2024 වර්ෂයේ අපොස උසස් පෙළ හැදෑරීමට සුදුසුකම් ලැබූ ශිෂ්‍ය ශිෂ්‍යාවන් 3000ක් වෙනුවෙන් ශිෂ්‍යත්ව පිරිනැමීම මෙම වසරේ සිදු කෙරෙන අතර දිවයින පුරා කලාප කාර්යාල 100ක් ආවරණය වන පරිදි කලාපයකින් ශිෂ්‍ය ශිෂ්‍යාවන් 30 දෙනෙකු බැගින් ඒ සඳහා තෝරාගෙන තිබෙනවා. මේ යටතේ ශිෂ්‍යත්වලාභියෙකු අපොස උසස් පෙළ අධ්‍යාපන කටයුතු අවසන් කරන තෙක් වසර 2ක කාලයක් පුරා මාසකට රුපියල් 5000 බැගින් ශිෂ්‍යාධාර හිමිවන අතර ඒ සඳහා වැය කිරීමට අපේක්ෂිත මුළු මුදල රුපියල් මිලියන 360ක්. ජනාධිපති රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහතා පොදු රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලීය රටවල නායක හමුවකට සහභාගී වුණා. එංගලන්තයේ පිහිටි පොදු රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලීය මහලේකම් කාර්යාලයේදී මෙම හමුව සිදු වුණා. පොදු රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලීය රටවල් 56ක නායකයින් ඊට එක් වී තිබුණා. එය පැවැත්වුණේ 3 වන චාල්ස් රජුගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන්. ඊට බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය අග්‍රාමාත්‍යවරයාද එක් වී තිබුණා. මෙම වසර පොදු රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලීය තරුණයින්ගේ වසර ලෙස නම් කිරීමටද මෙම සමුළුවේදී තීරණය කර තිබෙනවා. එම රාජ්‍ය නායක හමුවේදී අදහස් දක්වමින් චාල්ස් රජු ප්‍රකාශ කර ඇත්තේ පොදු රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලය තම ජීවිතයේ ප්‍රමුඛ ස්ථානයක පවතින අතර එම රටවල සාරධර්ම සහ ජනතාවගේ අභිවෘද්ධිය සඳහා උපරිම සහයෝගය ලබා දෙන බවයි. මේ අතර ජනපති රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහතා සහ මහාචාර්ය මෛත්‍රී වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්මියද පොදු රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලීය නායක සමුළුවට සහභාගී වුණා. එහිදී තරුණ සහභාගීත්වය සහ අධ්‍යාපන ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණ සඳහා සහාය දැක්වීමේදී පොදු රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලයේ වැදගත්කම අවධාරණය කර ඇති ජනාධිපතිවරයා ඩිජිටල්කරණය තුළින් සබඳතා ශක්තිමත් කරන ලෙසද ඉල්ලා තිබෙනවා. ඔහු ගහනා ජනාධිපතිවරයා සමග ද්විපාර්ශවීය සාකච්ඡාවකටද එක් වූ අතර සමුළුවට සමගාමීව පැවැත් වූ ෆයර්සයිඩ් චැට් වැඩසටහනට මහාචාර්ය වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්මිය සහභාගී වී තිබෙනවා. මේ අතර ජනපති රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහතා සහ රුවන්ඩා ජනපති ලන්ඩන් නුවරදී හමු වී දෙරට අතර කෘෂිකර්මාන්ත සෞඛ්‍ය ඇතුළු ක්ෂේත්‍ර රැසක ද්විපාර්ශවීය සබඳතා වැඩිදියුණු කිරීම පිළිබඳව මෙන්ම එහි ඉදිරි කටයුතු සොයා බැලීමට දෙරටේ අමාත්‍යවරුන්ගේ හමුවක් පිළිබඳවද සාකච්ඡා කර තිබෙනවා. තිරිඟු පිටි සඳහා ලබා දී තිබූ රුපියල් 3ක රේගුබදු සහනය ඉවත් කිරීමේ ප්‍රධාන අරමුණ දේශීය වී ගොවියා ආරක්ෂා කර ගැනීම බව මුදල් රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය රංජිත් සියඹලාපිටිය මහතා පවසනවා. කෙසේ වෙතත් ඒ හරහා තිරිඟු පිටි මිලෙහි කිසිදු වෙනසක් සිදු නොවන බවයි රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍යවරයා සඳහන් කළේ. සහ සඳහා වන ප්‍රධානතම ආදේශකය වන තිරිඟු පිටි සඳහා ලබා දී තිබූ සහනය ඉවත් කිරීමෙන් යැපුම් මට්ටමේ වී ගොවීන් ආරක්ෂා කිරීමට තිරිඟු පිටි මිල කළමනාකරණය කළ හැකි බවද රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය රංජිත් සියඹලාපිටිය මහතා සඳහන් කරනවා. ඒ අවිසාවෙල්ල ප්‍රදේශයේ පැවති වැඩසටහනකින් අනතුරුවයි. ඇස් නොපෙනෙන වන අලියකු බකමූණ දියබෙදුම නගරයට කඩා වැදී පසුගියදා රථවාහන 6කට සහ නිවාස 6කට අලාභානි කිරීමේ සිද්ධියක් පිළිබඳව වාර්තා වූ බව දියබෙදුම පොලිසිය පවසනවා. මෙම වන අලියා දින කිහිපයක සිට ගම්වැදී සිටින බවට තොරතුරු ලැබී තිබුණු බවත් පොලිසිය සහ ප්‍රදේශවාසීන් එක්ව අවස්ථාවන් කිහිපයකම වන අලියා පළවා හැරීම සිදු කරනු ලැබූ බවත් අනාවරණය වෙනවා. එහෙත් එක්වරම දියබෙදුම නගර මධ්‍යයට පැමිණි මෙම වන අලියා හිස් ලූලු අත පහර දෙන්නට වූ බව ප්‍රදේශවාසීහු පවසනවා. දියබෙදුම පොලිසියේ උසස් නිලධාරියෙකු සඳහන් කළේ මෙම වන අලි පහර දීමෙන් ත්‍රිරෝද රථ එකක් යතුරු පැදි ලොරි රථයක් ඇතුළු වාහන 6කට අලාභානි සිදු වී ඇති බවයි. එමෙන්ම නිවාස 6කටද අලාභානි සිදු වී තිබෙන බවත් ප්‍රදේශවාසීන් සහ පොලිසිය එක්ව වන අලියා දඹුලු කැලයට පළවා හැරීමට පියවරගත් බවත් සඳහන් වනවා. නීත්‍යානුකූල නොවන ආකාරයට විදේශ රැකියා ජාවාරම්වලට ගොදුරු වූ වින්දිත කාන්තාවන් 170ක් සහ ජාවාරම්කරුවන් පිරිසක් මෙම වසරේ පළමු මාස 3 තුළ කටුනායක බණ්ඩාරනායක ගුවන්තොටුපළේදී හඳුනාගෙන නීතිය හමුවට ඉදිරිපත් කළ බව විදේශ සේවා නියුක්ති කාර්යාංශය ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා. තවත් කාන්තාවන් 8 දෙනෙකු ගුවන්තොටුපළ අපරාධ පරීක්ෂණ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව වෙත ඉදිරිපත් කළ බව එම කාර්යාංශය වැඩිදුරටත් ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා. විදේශ රැකියා සඳහා සුදුසුකම් නොලබන පිරිස් විවිධ වංචනික ක්‍රම භාවිතා කරමින් විදේශ රැකියා සඳහා පිටත් කර හැරීම පිළිබඳ සිදුවීම් පසුගිය කාලයේ බහුල වාර්තා වූ බවද සඳහන් වෙනවා. මේ සමගින් අදට නියමිත සතියේ ප්‍රධාන ප්‍රවෘත්ති ප්‍රකාශය නිමාවට පත්වෙනවා. මෙම ප්‍රවෘත්ති ප්‍රකාශය නැවත නැරඹීමට ශ්‍රී ලංකා මෝර්නිං ෂෝ YouTube channel වෙතට යොමු වන්න. ඔබ සැමට සුවදායි සතියක්. ආයුබෝවන්.
We bring you a special segment to promote Sri Lanka. A special thank you to Sandra and Estrid Jackson for providing us with this segment.
Hi, today again in our kitchen we have Werner. So Werner is going to show something very special, something very vegetarian and something very simple. You can make it at home. So Werner, please.
Hello, Happy.
How are you?
How's it
How
going?
are you again?
Good.
Good, thank you. So what's the plan today? What are you going to cook?
The plan today is a very versatile mushroom dish, and it is one of my favorite dishes. You can use it for breakfast mushroom. You can use it for a side item as mushrooms. You can use it as a main dish, a steak with mushrooms. And today we're going to do a mushroom carpaccio.
Wow, okay.
Which is normally a raw, something from raw, but we're going to sort of half cook the mushrooms because, you know, we want to just get more flavors. Okay. It's very simple and it's a, you know, very creative dish. Everybody can do it at home and can be a chef.
So okay, Werner, I'll leave it to you.
All right.
And
okay, so we're going through the ingredients, and I say it's a very short list. We have our stars, which are the flat mortadella mushrooms. We have a rocket, we have a fennel, and we have some sliced parsley, Italian parsley, olive oil, balsamico, a lemon juice. And this morning when we got to the market, actually the figs are just a beautiful season in the moment. So we're going to throw in some fresh figs just to sweeten up the dish a little bit. Light sweet flavor with the figs. The only item cooked will be the flat mushrooms, portobello, so we start with them. We can take the stem out from the bottom. This is a mushroom part, a little bit harder, but we're going to oven bake it. So this time we just take it out. So as you can see, straightforward. Then we have some garlic, and we're just gonna slice it finely. All right. Then we have fresh thyme. Forgot in the introduction, but again we're just gonna pull it off the branch. No chopping required. Just beautiful. Again, you can use some. If you don't have fresh thyme, you could use some dry herbs. The fennel, we're gonna use a fennel, maybe not too big, and we're gonna slice it really thinly. Now, maybe you have a machine at home, like a mandolin, or if you can do it with a knife, finely yourself, then yeah, that would be working as well. And the reason we want it fine is because it will be raw. We're gonna keep it raw, just a light marination. And then, you know, this is the fennel green. Now this is actually a herb, a fresh herb, and we're actually gonna keep a little bit back of that, which we're gonna, once we're ready with the dish, we're gonna put it back into the salad. Okay, we have a lemon, which we just really need a lemon juice. So again, you can use a normal lemon juice, but fresh obviously is always better. And finally, we have our figs. And as I said, the season's been wonderful. Let's use them. And as well, they're not so expensive in the moment. Okay, so we have a hot pan. Again, Teflon would be good. This one needs as well plenty of olive oil. And we're going to just pan-sear our mushrooms on one side, and then we just want to flip it over. There you go. Just to give it a little bit of color, and then we're going to go straight in the oven. As well, the mushroom, as you know, is like a sponge. It loves to, you know, soak up the olive oil. On the other hand, as you know, there is about 80% of water in the mushroom. So we don't want to overcook. The longer you cook a mushroom, the more juice is going to come out, and the more volume you're going to lose, and actually the flavor. Yep, it's looking good. All right, and off we go in the oven. Now they've probably been there for about 8 to 10 minutes, all depending, because we wanted to just slightly cook from the outside and not fully cooked through, so not more than about 8 minutes. Okay, let's have a look if we are ready. It's probably about 6 minutes past, and oh yes, oh, beautiful. Can you hear that? That's sizzling, just very nice. So what we'll do is we'll take them out from our pan, and you can see there's hardly any liquid in the pan. Yeah, all the juice is still in the mushroom. Okay, we have our garlic. Make sure we capture all that. And now we'll add a little bit more olive oil, and we will add some lemon juice. You can use your juicer, or these are beautiful lemons, seedless, just perfect. Now we will put that in the fridge, and obviously a carpaccio is a cold item, to marinate. You could do it overnight, obviously, but it just needs to cool down a little bit and make sure the flavors mixing with the olive oil, the lemon juice, and the herbs and spices. Okay, here we go, and oh, look at that lovely marinated flat mushrooms, or portobello mushrooms. As I say, we want that juice, yeah, because this is gonna be our dressing, including the garlic and the thyme. And so what we do now is we're gonna just slice it, fine slices, and have a look at that. We're just gonna marinate our mushrooms now with our natural juice, lemon juice. As well, obviously, we were seasoning the mushrooms. Obviously, salt and pepper is very, very important. As I mentioned, there's not a lot of flavors in mushrooms, so we actually had to create that. And it's just mixing it together. A little bit of olive oil. Okay. And we're finishing up with our figs.
Well, Werner, thank you so much. It was good, and it's very simple and very tasty. I can see the flavors are there, and very fresh and summery salad. So thanks again, Werner. Thank you for coming and showing these beautiful recipes, and so simple. And that's all for the day. We'll see you again with a new recipe next week. Bye for now.
Good morning and welcome as we discuss another bird species on our segment, The Fascinating World of Birds. Today I'm joined with Chanith Wijeratne, a keen bird enthusiast, the editor of the Migraine Foundation, and an aspiring medical student. Welcome, Chanith.
Well, thank you for having me again.
So, Chanith, what bird species will we be discussing today? And can you give some characteristics about this particular species?
Today we'll be discussing a few very common birds you might have seen around. The welcome swallow, tree martin and fairy martin. All of these birds are very quick flyers. They're very small birds with dark blue upper sides and pale undersides. They can be often seen around waterways, hawking for insects, which is their main source of food.
I see. Now, whereabouts in Melbourne would you be able to find this bird species? You did mention that it was quite common to see these birds?
Yes, well, it differs a bit between the species. The tree and fairy martins are in fact both summer and spring migrants, not being present year-round. However, the welcome swallow is present pretty much everywhere year-round. Welcome swallows, it's almost harder to not see than it is to see. They're basically everywhere. Tree martins, on the other hand, are a bit more specific, liking areas of woodland. The appropriately named Woodlands Park is a particularly nice place to see them. Fairy martins, on the other hand, are often seen in the Geelong and Werribee areas, particularly around the Western Treatment Plant, where there are several sites where there are big communal nests, structures covered in them, nests made of a sort of mix of mud and feathers.
I see, that's remarkable. And what about the diet of these birds? Do they vary or are they similar?
Well, like I said, they're primarily all insectivores. They have a very interesting way of feeding. They like areas of water because obviously there's a lot of insects there, and they'll basically just fly forward, open their mouth really wide, and they have a particularly wide gape, and just aim themselves at an insect, so the insect goes right in.
For our keen bird enthusiasts at home who are more interested in finding out about these bird species, what type of resources would you recommend for them?
Well, I mentioned in one of our early episodes the immense value of having a field guide. This is particularly good here because the martins and swallows are quite an easy trap for a novice to fall into, as they all look very similar. The trick here is to look at their tails and the rump in flight. The welcome swallow has a deeply forked tail, while both martins have squared off tails, and the fairy martin has a white rump. Additionally, the welcome swallow has a bright red throat, which is lacking in the fairy martin, which is pink-headed, and the tree martin, which has a much plainer head.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that information with us, Chanith. I'm sure our viewers at home learnt a lot from our segment today.
Oh, thank you for your kind words.
Join us again next week as we discover other bird species on the fascinating world of birds.
Abacus Solar, latest and reliable solar systems, world best panels and inverters, price beat guarantee, supervised system installation, excellent after sales service. Call 1300 852 843.
Rosewood Downs Excellence in Aged Care, a modern purpose-built home available in single and double rooms with ensuite and telephone in every room. Contact Ruben and Christine on 9701 3234.
Sanji Caldera Associates. With our headquarters based in Melbourne, Australia, you can locate our branch offices in Sri Lanka, Dubai, Canada and London, UK. Some of our services include skilled migration visa, family migration visa, employer sponsorship visa, temporary resident visa, business visa, tourist visa, student visa, administrative appeals tribunal review. Pursuit of excellence through tailored solutions.
The science of life, traditionally known as the Ayurveda. Consultations, diagnosis and treatments are done by fully qualified Ayurvedic practitioner Dr. Sam Dasanai. Sahandro Ayurvedic Center, best wellness experience.
New Year Festival Live telecast on Sri Lanka Morning Show. Gold sponsored by Sanji Caldera Associates. Silver sponsor Crystal Clear Flooring. Bronze sponsor Rosewood Downs. Associate sponsors Edson Plastic, Southern Star Motors, Abacus Solar, Jet Travel and Cruise, Australian Workforce, Varna Legal.
The segment that promotes Sri Lankan culture, diversity, nature and heritage is proudly sponsored by Prestige Wardrobe and Shower Screens. So we bring you a special segment to promote Sri Lanka. A special thank you to Sandra and Estrid Jackson for providing us with this segment.
Hi, today we have something very simple and easy and Asian, and it's very healthy, and it's a soup. Very simple, basic soup I have. Okay, so we got ingredients we have is wakame seaweed and corn flour and oyster mushroom, the king oyster mushroom, and onion, silky tofu, woodier mushroom, white coral mushroom, and also spring onion, crushed pepper, soya sauce, and ABC sauce. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put all together and cook together until the flavors comes, and then we start adding the tofu. So first we will put a bit of water, because we try not to use any butter or margarine in this soup because it needs to be healthy and vegetarian. So I just put some water just to blanch the, so I put hot water here, so you don't have to wait too long. I put all the onions just to blanch it off, that's all. So as I always say, you know, these type of soups you can make it at home, and it's very easy. You only need the ingredients. It's a summertime, winter time, doesn't matter. It's just a basic simple soup to go along with your main meal, or lunchtime you can have only this. So I'm gonna, while it's boiling up, we will slice some of these mushrooms. So I put all my mushrooms in. And this coral mushroom. This is knife, it's better. You can see all this mushroom, beautiful, number one, and has a lot of flavor. So as you can see, I'm going to put this one whole, and then take the medium mushroom. So I will still cut bigger pieces. The mushroom and everything what we put into these dishes, we need to make sure that cut them in bigger pieces where you possibly can, because we spend a lot of money to buy the fresh ingredients, especially we are in Melbourne. We have all the ingredients that are fresh. So best thing, you cut them bigger like that, so you have the pieces bite into your mouth. So the wakame goes in. The wakame is a seaweed, but this one I bought dry, and it put in water, it just become fresh. My silky tofu, this is very gentle, it has to be very gentle, and add last into your dish. So now I'm gonna slice them, which is, again, you need to slice them visual, don't chop them. That's why I want to put it last. So I'll move this one to my plate again. See, it's very gently you have to move it because it's very fragile. Okay, now you can see that it's boiling. So start bubbling up. So it is time to add your rest of the ingredients. So let's add my soya sauce. We have a little bit of light soya sauce. I try not to put salt because this is soya sauce will give you that flavor, but this one is very strong flavor. So you just add a bit to give you that beautiful color plus that taste of soya. And then you have a bit of pepper. So you get the pepper here. So you got a little bit of spiciness in there and a bit of a kick. There you go. And last thing is we'll add some ABC sauce. The ABC sauce is like, it is soya sauce, it is thick but it's sweeter. So I'm not going to add sugar here, just that. So it gives that little bit of color to the soup and also the flavor. So as you can see, we didn't add anything else. So it's a simple taste of soup with all the mushrooms in there. So into my soup bowl, I will put some spring onion because it has a very strong flavor. Because you know this is very subtle soup. You don't need to put too many flavors into it. So there you add some spring onion, and then now I'm going to add my silky tofu. So because these ones are not to put and mix together because it'll break. So I'm going to add sufficient tofu into this soup bottom. And now, this is very important, you make this boil and my corn flour. Now you can see the soup is very thin, as you see, it's very thin like water. But not many Asian, especially Chinese flavors has thin soup, so we're going to make it thick. So this is corn flour, very simple, bit of water and corn flour together and go there. And you make it very thick, like so. So if you have hairy black fungi, which is the mushroom, black color like hair, you can add in, but I couldn't find it in the shop today. So there you are. So you can see it's now getting thick and good body. So when you have this body is the one that you can add it to the bowl. So now I'm going to turn my fire off and take it out and pour into my bowl. Look at this beautiful soup. So in this time I want to advise you, if you want, you can add some coriander powder, some chili, some curry powder, even some turmeric. It's up to you, but the base is here now. So this is the final touch, and it's very, very simple and very easy. So please enjoy your afternoon tea. So that's all for the day. We see you again with a new recipe next week. Bye for now.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Tissa, one of the neurologists from Melbourne, Australia. We had a question recently from one of our viewers, basically asking us that after him having a stroke, while he made near complete recovery, his vision had not been the same, and at times he was seeing double vision. Now it is difficult to answer a specific question without knowing too much detail. However, it is an opportunity for us to explore what actually happened to vision when a brain disorder such as stroke occur. It is fascinating to remember that vision, or the objects and things that we see in the world, drive our behavior as humans more than 90% of the time. As a result of that, our brain has allocated a large proportion of its electrical and chemical activity to the process of vision. From our own research, we discovered that vision actually gets affected in stroke over 70 to 80% of the time, acute stage. The good news is most of these patients recover almost near complete within a couple of months. We are still working on theoretical aspects behind this. So, to understand why someone might have double vision or seeing two images, one separate from the other, it is important to look at the picture on the screen. The movement of our eyes basically coordinated to maintain what is known as binocular vision. In other words, when you look at me through the screen, your both eyes focus on the same image, and your brain is able to process the two images as a single image. This process is controlled by number of main nerves talking through number of fibers talking to each other. So it is possible that some strokes can derail these networks, causing the images to process not together but separately from one another. As a result of that, you could end up having double vision. So to our friend who sent this question, the best is to check the vision and visual function and brain activities with the help of his local stroke physician and the local optometrist in detail to find out what's causing this. But I thank him a lot for sending this question, as this gives us an opportunity to explore the brain-eye connection. There's a famous saying that eye is the window to the brain. We'll talk about this more in future programs so that we can understand this better. Thank you for joining us.
Abacus Solar, latest and reliable solar systems, world best panels and inverters, price beat guaranteed, supervised system installation, excellent after sales service. Call 1300 852 843.
Rosewood Downs Excellence in Aged Care, a modern purpose-built home available in single and double rooms with ensuite and telephone in every room. Contact Ruben and Christine on 9701 3234.
Sanji Caldera Associates. With our headquarters based in Melbourne, Australia, you can locate our branch offices in Sri Lanka, Dubai, Canada and London, UK. Some of our services include skilled migration visa, family migration visa, employer sponsorship visa, temporary resident visa, business visa, tourist visa, student visa, administrative appeals tribunal review. Pursuit of excellence through tailored solutions.
The science of life, traditionally known as the Ayurveda. Consultations, diagnosis and treatments are done by fully qualified Ayurvedic practitioner Dr. Sam Dasanai. Sahandro Ayurvedic Center, best wellness experience.
New Year Festival Live telecast on Sri Lanka Morning Show. Gold sponsored by Sanji Caldera Associates. Silver sponsor Crystal Clear Flooring. Bronze sponsor Rosewood Downs. Associate sponsors Edson Plastic, Southern Star Motors, Abacus Solar, Jet Travel and Cruise, Australian Workforce, Varna Legal.
Hello and welcome to Sri Lanka Morning Show. We have in the studio with us today Romain Ferdinands, the owner of Jet Travel and Cruise. Welcome to the show, Romain.
Thank you for having me on the show.
We have heard a lot about your charitable activities to do with old folks' homes, orphanages. Could you please elaborate a bit about what you do? We're very interested to hear about your numerous and long-standing charitable events, Romain.
I've got 3 orphanages, 2 home for the ages that I've been supporting for the past 35 years.
Wow.
I'm also involved in the CCC Foundation, the CDF Foundation, purchase ambulances from here and send them to Sri Lanka. The CCC Foundation, they have built a home like the Ronald McDonald Home in Sri Lanka. And I've been supporting an organization in Swaziland, which we donated from one of our dancers. We donated 10 water tanks in those remote areas. The children walk 4 Ks to get a dirty bucket of water.
Wow, 4 kilometers just for clean water, for
dirty
dirty
water.
So now they have clean water thanks to your
That's
activities.
right.
Amazing, Romain, all the activities that you have done to assist people all over in remote Sri Lanka and even remote Africa. It's truly phenomenal.
Thank you. And also this year I've started another project where we're supporting the farmers with paddy so that they can grow their crops, and it's distributed within the villages free of charge.
Mhm.
So once the crops are done, They come, they pick up their bags of their rice, and at least they've got a meal for
Yeah.
the day, you know.
Yes.
And there are so many other charities that I support within Australia too. One of them is the Olivia Newton-John Foundation. I've been supporting them too. And every dance or every function, they approach me just for raffle prizes, where they all do charities.
That is fantastic, Romain. Speaking of which, is there anything coming up which our viewers may learn about, where they may also support these causes in some way?
Yes, I'm having my Jet Travel and Cruise Gala dinner ball on the 10th of June, and it's held at Springwell Town Hall. All funds raised through our raffle prizes would be donated to all these charities. I don't give them money, but I make sure, like for an example, with the orphanages, we have a store that they call up and they tell them what they need, and it's being delivered, and I transfer the funds into the shop owner's account. So there's no cash involved in any of my charities.
Could you please tell us more about the event? Will there be a band? What kind of food will be served?
Okay, the band sponsored an international band called Misty, and the caterers are Silver Line Catering, and we have got some fantastic prizes for our raffle and door prize. Our door prizes are 2 airline tickets to Sri Lanka with 7 nights accommodation.
Oh, wow.
Our second prize is a cruise for 2. Third prize is accommodation in Dubai. We got 3 cruises for the door prizes and the raffle prizes. We got many nights accommodation in Sri Lanka, in Bali, in Dubai. So the prizes are great. And I think the highlights of my dance is the prizes and the support that I've been receiving from my past clients. I've given away 500 tickets without advertising.
That's amazing, Romain. Sounds like an event not to be missed. The prizes as great as the causes that they support. If our viewers would like to know more, how can they get in touch, Romain, to find out more information?
They could contact Jet Travel and Cruise. The number is 95853800, and my mobile number is 0423 737 074. And not forgetting my guest artist is Ezric Jackson. Ezric and Sandra has always supported me in all my events. And also I've got Radhika from Sri Lanka. She's flying in just for my event only.
Wow,
so
that is
thank
fantastic.
Thank you, Radhika. Yes.
It sounds like some really great prizes for just as great a cause, Romain. I'm very tempted to come along as well.
You have to. It's an order, not a request.
In that case, I do hope our viewers will join us as well. Saturday, the 10th of June, 2023, from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. See you there. And if you'd like to get in touch, do contact Romain from Jet Travel and Cruise.
Thank you for having me on the show once again.
Thanks very much, Romain. Welcome to another episode of The Fascinating World of Birds, where today I'm joined with Chanith Wijeratne, who is an avid birdwatcher, an aspiring medical student, and the editor of the Migraine Foundation. Welcome, Chanith.
Hello again, everyone.
So, Chanith, what bird species will we be discussing today?
Today we'll be talking about a bit of a sadder story, the orange-bellied parrot.
And why is this a sadder story compared to the other bird species?
Because it's now an incredibly rare bird. This bird is quite unique. It's one of 2 species of parrots that migrates up from Tasmania in the winter to spend its time on our southern shores. Now, they once used to be much more abundant than they are, but now they're critically endangered. There's precious few left. Every year the count seems to be dwindling, and despite a captive breeding program having helped out a lot and sort of revitalized things a little, the numbers still aren't great.
So if one of our bird watchers at home or keen bird enthusiasts were to stumble across one of these bird species, what would be the best point of action?
Well, this is a good thing here for me to sort of go on a bit of a tangent about what to do when you do see a bird that's not rare because it's strayed off its path, but rare because it's just critically endangered. With these birds, again, a bit of an ethical dilemma comes up. On the one hand, of course you want as many people to see it as possible, but on the other hand, with such rare birds, it's critical that they're not disturbed too much. For this reason, general common practice is to try and hide records of these birds as much as possible. Even eBird, that resource I mentioned earlier, which sort of keeps a track of where people have seen what, has agreed to hide records of orange-bellied parrot.
And you mentioned that these birds are slowly becoming endangered. What can our viewers at home do to help save these bird species?
Well, as I mentioned, again, just try not to disturb them when you do see them. Furthermore, when you do see one, it's imperative that the record is reported to the right authorities. There's a Save the Orange-Bellied Parrot group that monitors this and manages the captive breeding programs for this species. And when an orange-bellied parrot is seen, there's an email and a number that should be notified.
So, Chanith, in a place like Australia where there are so many diverse bird species, what are the distinct characteristics of the orange-bellied parrot that would help our viewers identify them?
So the orange-bellied parrot is a small grass-green parrot, and there are some notable confusion species. The main one is the blue-winged parrot, which also has its numbers bolstered in the winter from southern migrants, but is also just generally around on our southern coasts. Now the classic thing to differentiate the two is that the blue-winged parrot is a much drabber bird by comparison. It's sort of dull olivey green, while the orange-bellied parrot is a very rich grass green. Note that the name is a bit deceiving here. The orangish tinge to the belly does not necessarily make a parrot an orange-bellied parrot. I've seen plenty of blue wings with a similar orange tinge. The real characteristic you're going off of is that overall bright grass green to the body.
I see, so this is the key principle of don't judge a book by its cover, right?
Yes, I suppose so.
And what about their diet? What is that like?
Well, they live mostly in salt marsh, and to be honest, their diet isn't really a main area of expertise of mine. So there's not that much I can contribute there.
Well, that should be a question for you to look into next time, right, Chanith?
I suppose so, yes.
But thank you for joining with us today and sharing your valuable knowledge with us and our viewers at home again.
Well, thank you for having me again.
Join us again next week as we discuss another bird species on the fascinating world of birds.
We have a special song by Sandra and Esric Jackson to celebrate Mother's Day.
There's a sweet memory that I keep in my mind, and sometimes I drift way back in time to the day I first held you and kissed your sweet face. Now these precious memories time can't erase. Sweet baby mine, where have you gone? Now when I look at you, I see a man. Still in my heart, you'll always be sweet baby mine. You may travel the world, search for fortune and fame. Don't give up till you made your mark, and everyone knows your name. Just remember when you are gone, many miles far away, that the love in your mother's heart always will stay. Sweet baby mine, where have you gone? I see a man, and you've grown proud and tall with the passing of time. Still in my heart, you'll always be sweet baby mine. There's a sweet memory that I keep in my mind, and sometimes I drift way back in time to the day I first held you and kissed your sweet face. Now these precious memories time can't erase. Sweet baby mine, where have you gone? Now when I look at you, I see a man. Still in my heart, you'll always be, sweet baby mine. Still in my heart, you'll always be, sweet baby mine.
There's no better place on earth than you. Yeah, I dream of you, Sri Lanka. Yeah,
I pray for you, Sri Lanka.